In this video, we'll get a little bit more practice with input and output, including combining them together. So let's call this section Combining Input and Output, and we'll gather some information from the user and then spit it back to them. So let's start with the display. We'll say hello. That will display in the user's window, and then we might say something like, I'm Matt. And now I want you to look at the color change because I used a single quotation mark, and that by MATLAB's rules means that the string is over. If we want to actually use a single quote mark in our text, we need to escape it with a single quote mark. So that's two single quote marks in a row. It's not a double quotation mark. So we can say something like, I'm Matt, and then we'll gather information from the user and say, who are you? Leave a space, close your string, close your parentheses, and suppress the output with a semicolon. Don't forget, in this case, we're going to expect a string, so add that flag with the S at the end of it. Display, and let's answer. So we've gathered the user's name, and so we'll display hello. Let's see, we need hi there, comma, space, and I want to shove this together with the output. So I need to turn it into a matrix, into an array. Hi there, that's my string. I have a comma and then the name, oops, comma, and then we'll put a period there, like that. Oops, finish the matrix first, then the display parentheses, and it doesn't matter if you suppress it or not. So we can leave it. And then I'll say, let's gather another input. Don't you love programming? Space, close the string, close the parentheses, and suppress the output. Is this going to be a string? Don't you love programming? Well, presumably they'll say yes or no. They're not going to answer a number, so we need that S flag again. Let's look at input, parentheses, single quote, two single quotes here for the contraction apostrophe. Then we have a space before the end of that string, a comma, and this flag tells MATLAB expect a string as an answer. And then we close the display command parentheses and finish off with a semicolon. Woo, lots of stuff. And their response is going to get saved as a variable called answer. So maybe I want to reply to them, maybe I'll repeat back their answer. Display, let's just show it to them. Answer, comma, question mark. That'll be fun. So I've made this into an array again with that square block, smushing these together. Close parentheses and then pause for 2 seconds. Pause for 2 seconds before saying, I agree. See you later. And let's run this and see what happens. All right, run section. Hello. So we're getting it all at once. There is no pause unless you say pause. So I'll put my name here, Jessica, and then it's going to run down to the next thing. Hi there, Jessica. Don't you love programming? Sure. Why not? And it says sure, which is exactly what I wrote with the extra question mark. That's this question mark right there. And then it paused for 2 seconds before saying, I agree. See you later. So you can play around with this for a few minutes. I think it's fun to talk to your program, have your program talk back to you. And then in our next video, we'll look at other ways of displaying output.